Hello and welcome to my channel. I wanted to show you a stitch. It's very easy to do. I'm gonna use 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. You can use any crochet hook that your yarn recommends. For this stitch we're gonna chain odd number. So I have here 15 chains. We're gonna skip the first 2 chains, and into the third chain, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go to the third chain and do a half double crochet. This row is gonna be half double crochet in each chain. So we're gonna move to the next chain, half double crochet, next chain, half double crochet, and so on. It's a very easy stitch. You can do scarves. The thumbnail picture that you saw, it's for a man, the scarf, and I worked that with 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. The yarn was quite thin, so you can use any yarn size. For a mild winter, I would suggest you use a thinner yarn than a thick one. Okay, last chain, half double crochet. Okay, now we're gonna chain 2. So for this scarf, the way you saw in the thumbnail, you're gonna have to chain a long chain. Odd number, you're gonna chain as long as you want that scarf to be, and then you're gonna work how wide you want the scarf. It's up to you. Some people like long scarves, some people don't. Okay, after you chain the 2 chains, you're gonna turn your work, yarn over the hook. We're gonna skip the first stitch, and into the second stitch we're gonna do a half double crochet. Okay, yarn over the hook. We're gonna go back to the first stitch that we skipped. So you're gonna go into the first and you're gonna start pulling up loops. So once, yarn over the hook, go back again into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over the hook, and go back again. So I went 3 times. If you find the puff too big, too bulky, you can go only twice. Depends on your yarn size. So now we're gonna pull the yarn through all these loops. Yarn over the hook. We're gonna skip the next stitch, and into the next we're gonna do a half double crochet first. Yarn over the hook. We're gonna go back to the stitch that we skipped. So in here we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, and the third time. Pull the yarn through all the loops, and we're gonna do like this until we finish this row. Skip the next stitch, and into the next, half double crochet, yarn over the hook. We're gonna go back to the stitch that we skipped. So in there you're gonna do a puff. Keep the tension of the puff as best as you can, and then pull the yarn through all the loops. Skip the next stitch, and into the next, half double crochet, and we're gonna go back to the stitch that we skipped. You go back to the one that you skipped and do a puff. Pull the yarn through all the loops, and we're gonna do like this. Skip the next stitch, and into the next, half double crochet first, go back to the stitch that you skipped and put in there a puff. Okay, now skip the next stitch, and into the next, half double crochet, and then we're gonna go back to the stitch that we skipped, and we're gonna put in there a puff. Okay, now we have left 1 stitch in which we're gonna do a half double crochet. Okay, chain 2, turn your work. It's gonna look like this. We're gonna skip the first stitch, and into the next we're gonna do a half double crochet. So the half double crochet you're gonna do on top of the puff stitch from the previous row. So skip the first and move to the second and do a half double crochet, and then we're gonna go back to the stitch, the first one that we skipped, and we're gonna put a puff in there. Okay, so skip the next stitch and into the next, which is the stitch from the previous row, the puff. So go in there and do a half double crochet, and then go back to the stitch that we skipped and do a puff. Skip the next stitch and into the next, do a half double crochet and go back to the stitch that you skipped and do a puff. I think this stitch, it's nice if you use for a scarf, for example, or even a blanket. Use a soft yarn. If you want for like something sturdy or a rug or something like that, use well, some yarn that you don't mind that it's so rigid and it's not so elastic. So skip the next stitch and into the next, half double crochet. We're gonna go back to the stitch that we skipped and we're gonna do a puff. Okay, skip the next stitch and into the next, we're gonna do half double crochet, yarn over the hook, move back to the stitch that we skipped and put in there a puff. Okay, and now at the end, through the chain, we're gonna go in there, right there on top, and do a half double crochet. So we're gonna do like this, 2 rows of puffs, and now chain 1, turn your work, and now in each stitch we're gonna do half double crochet. So yarn over the hook, the first stitch is here, go in there and do a half double crochet, move to the next stitch, half double crochet, and so on. Next stitch, half double crochet. You can do with a single crochet if you don't like the half double crochet, it's fine, it's up to you. So in each stitch you're gonna do half double crochet. Okay, next half double crochet, next half double crochet, and at the end here we're gonna go right here on top, right there, and do a half double crochet. Now chain 1, turn your work, and we're gonna do another row of half double crochet. Now if some of you, when you put your scarf, this is like an arrow, so if you don't want these arrows, all of them, depends what project you do, to be on the same direction, then you're gonna do only 1 row of half double crochet, and then you're gonna start with the puffs, which means these arrows, so one line, let's say, of arrows will go down, and if you start from now, puffs, the arrow will be pointing up. But if you want all of them to point down, then you're gonna have to do 2 rows of half double crochet. So you're gonna go into the first stitch and you're gonna do a half double crochet, move to the next stitch, half double crochet, and so on. Maybe some of you will like the arrows, these puffs, like braided puffs, to 1 row to be 1 row of these puffs to point down, the other row you want pointing up. Then you're gonna do only 1 row of half double crochet, and if you want the same, you're gonna have to put 2 rows of half double crochet. Okay, so now the last stitch here, and we're gonna do a half double crochet, chain 2, and now we're gonna start the puff rows. Yeah. So again, you're gonna skip the first stitch and into the next, the second there. You're gonna do a half double crochet first, go back to the first stitch that you skipped and do a puff. Okay, now skip the next and into the next. You're gonna do a half double crochet, move back to the stitch that you skipped and place in there a puff. Skip one, move to the next, half double crochet, and into the next you're gonna do a puff. Skip, move to the next. Well, this stitch, it's nice, looks pretty, but it's gonna eat a lot of yarn. So if you have yarn that you want to get rid of, well, use this this stitch. Okay, skip and into the next, half double crochet, and we're gonna go back to the stitch that we skipped and place in there a puff. Okay, and now at the end, the last stitch here, we're gonna do a half double crochet. Okay, now you're gonna chain two, turn your work, and you're gonna do one more row of puffs, which means you're gonna repeat. Skip the first stitch and into the next, you're gonna do a half double crochet, move to the first stitch that you skipped and do a puff. Okay, skip the next stitch and into the next, half double crochet. So in general, this this stitch has, let's say, 4 rows repeat, 2 rows of puffs and the next 2 rows of half double crochet, and you keep repeating the pattern. For a blanket this is nice, but like I said, use a soft yarn. It's gonna be quite heavy and compact if you use, let's say, a hard yarn. Skip and into the next, half double crochet. I'm gonna go back into the stitch that we skipped and do a puff. Skip and into the next, I'm gonna repeat half double crochet, and then we're gonna go back and do the puff. And now at the end, through that chain, second chain on top, we're gonna do a half double crochet, and now you're gonna chain one, turn your work, and you're gonna do 2 rows of double crochet, half double crochet in each stitch. So when you put your scarf, as you can see, they're gonna be the same. Let's say the arrows will go in the same direction. If you want one pointing down and the other one pointing up, then you eliminate 1 row of half double crochet. You're gonna do just 1 row, and then you start the row, 2 rows with the puffs. Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy and you find this stitch useful. You can do this with any yarn size that you like. It's up to you. You can do variegated yarn, you can change colors like I did. You can do so many things with playing with the yarn colors. Yeah? Okay, well, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.